Big Dave and Close show. We are Daveless tonight, but Mel is back.
I am, finally. If my mic was working. Way to go, balls deep. There you go. Tweak the knobs. We sat here for 15 minutes, so don't even.
My mic's working fine.
No,
I'm
you
sure
should
it
have been here
is.
last week when Brandon was running the board.
And I missed that.
I don't think we went on until almost 9 o'clock.
Don't you have to leave at 9?
Yes. I just said. So I think I remember how to do that. Yeah, so thank God Balls Deep is back. We're Daveless tonight because Dave has the craps. So he is...
Literally.
So he called me earlier and said, man, I don't feel good, man. I'm like, dude, it's like 2 o'clock. You know what I mean? Just if you've got, some sort of stomach issues, can't you just get it all out, get it over with? Oh, they got some bad McDonald's. I haven't had McDonald's in a while. I'm like, I thought you were on this diet and you're going to McDonald's?
But he has like a rather large stomach, which would then tell me that he has like a rather large intestinal tract. So it just getting out would not... For you and I, it would probably take like an hour, 2 hours would be good to go. For Dave, it'd probably take 3 or 4 days.
He's got
He's got a delay system.
He's got like some small llamas caught in his intestine.
Yeah, it's kind of like a cow. You know how they have like 3 or 4 different stomachs?
Yeah, he's got to at least have 3.
Yeah, at least. They're like in each of these different rolls of fat.
Never thought about that because his stomach probably has just morphed into like its own stomach, cavern.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Of different passageways and stuff.
Yeah, just
'Cause
like
that can't be
multiplies.
just one huge stomach.
No.
There's no way.
No.
Something else has got to fill it up.
But for you and I, like, eating like a Happy Meal, we'd be like, satisfied with that, and he'd have to have like 3 or 4. So.
You know what? The times that I've seen him eat, it seems like he doesn't eat that much. You know what I mean? It's.
No, I can attest to why this happens. Speaking as a big guy, is we don't. Is like when we're around other people.
I was gonna say in
we,
public.
we don't. But when we're in private, it's game on.
Did you hear the excitement in his voice then?
Yes.
When he was like, it's like he was getting off. Oh no, when I'm by myself, you should see what I do.
I love to eat.
Special sauce.
Ew! I don't want to think about you and your special sauce.
Is it one of those things to where like, people trying to lose weight and they say that they're really doing good and really they're lying, like at work they'll have like 8 Twix bars in their drawer next to them,
Like the secret stash.
yeah. So I mean, like was it just you take pleasure well, everybody takes pleasure in eating, you know what I mean? I don't know, it's just like when I'm ready, like Thanksgiving or on Sundays, you just kind of chow down.
Yeah, but I think for like fat people, it's more of like an orgasmic experience. Like for us, it's just kind of necessity, but for them, they just kind of like they have to do it more and more.
I don't know.
I wouldn't say it's like orgasmic. I think that's
Jeff's still in the room, right?
I know, like that's just stretching the.
Hang on, the tone in your voice when you were like, "You should see what I did by myself."
Yeah, you were a little
Like,
excited there.
The excitement level.
I can't create theater of the mind. All right, I'm just no.
The porn of the mind when it comes to food, maybe.
No, I mean, yeah, there are people who I would say definitely treat food like porn who, do, I wouldn't say, or I guess you could say is orgasmic when they eat. I'm not saying that's me. Hold on, guys. This is getting off. No, wait. Let me backtrack a little. I'm not saying that's me. I'm not saying that's me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying that I bet there are people like that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to keep saying that. It's not me.
What's the saying? Me thinks he does protest too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can say whatever you want. You have your opinion, and I know the truth.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like you said, what the public sees as, but you by yourself. I think you kind of forgot we were in the room when you made the little comment, "Oh, you should see what I did by myself."
Are you one of those people that, like, whenever you're by yourself, you eat all hunched over? Like you're protecting your food? You're hunched over, you know what I mean, with the fork, and you're not holding you're holding it like with the fork or spoon with your whole hand,
like prison style?
like a fist. You know what I mean?
No.
And just shoveling it in.
No, I'm not one of those people.
No,
not
you
at
just
all.
spread it out and just like enjoy the view.
No, it's not like I like give myself like a little picnic. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna set up my mashed potatoes here, put my greens over here.
Uh-huh.
No.
Sure.
I imagine it's just like anyone else. I make a plate and I eat it.
Uh-huh. We believe you.
I appreciate
We
that.
really do.
I'm gonna take you at your word.
Can you not see or hear the sarcasm and genuine
No,
look on my face?
I'm picking it up. I'm just filtering it out.
You can't filter me, like, ever. Have you not learnt that by now?
I can't because I can mute your mic.
Yeah, and I can smack you in the head.
Is that a promise?
Oh, God. Please don't do the Dave thing, okay?
Why? It's such a good defense because it automatically makes you stop. It's
No,
such a good defense.
Because it grosses me out, and I try to not, like, vomit when I'm here.
What
So-
it also too, yeah, it's kind of funny how he just got just snapped into that role or whatever because you're offending him. But in your defense, Jeff, you're a big guy, but
Right.
Dave's a fat guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like I have been told this like my whole life is that for my weight, I carry it really well, you know, because there are people who probably weigh less than me but look bigger than me.
No, exactly. And certain people do. I have friends of mine that have lost weight. I think that Dave would probably look funny if he was a skinny person.
I think you would. And not only that, like, the excess skin, that would need to be, like, fixed.
Well, see, I hear that if you lose weight, like natural weight, like you don't have your stomach stapled or anything, that when you lose the weight, you don't get that extra skin. That extra loose skin is the side effect of having like your stomach stapled, because then your body loses the weight so fast that your skin like doesn't have time to be like whoa, you know, and so it stays stretched out.
Have you seen Dave?
I'm just saying what I heard.
Have you seen Dave?
No, I'm
No,
just yeah.
no.
Well, that's what the deal is. You can't lose the weight too fast. You got to lose it gradually.
Right.
You lose it. You know what I mean? I know that. And when people lose all that weight, I know they want to lose it in a hurry, but that's just another step. Why not just lose it slower? You know what I mean? And just wait. You know what I mean? For the skin to.
Yeah, to be able to adjust.
Thinking of Dave's skin, like, makes mine crawl. I'm sorry. It just, what?
As someone who used to be a big person, you would think that you would have more sympathy.
Yeah, no, he's just fat ass. There's no sympathy at all.
Did you lose your weight through like a diet and exercise, or did
No.
you? Oh, so you got the surgery too?
No, I stuck my fingers down my throat
Oh,
and did a lot of drugs.
oh, okay.
well, there's
Okay.
that way too.
Yeah, I guess that's option C.
Yeah, pretty
I
much.
g-
Wouldn't
but-
recommend it, because then I ended up losing my gallbladder and nearly dying. So, you know,
But it
it's
worked.
not. It did work, but
Right,
it's
skinny.
not something I would recommend to people.
But you know what? At that rate, you lost it, but you didn't have any. Did you have any excess skin or anything like that?
No, just my boobs. My boobs don't sit where they're supposed to, but all the rest of me is fine. I have stretch marks, and I hate them, but my boobs just aren't.
Well, you have to look at the positives. At least you didn't have to deal with a skin issue.
Yeah, no, that
There's many ways to lose weight, and you know the drugs maybe not that part of a deal, but not that.
cocaine
I
is
would
a hell of a
ever-
drug.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, yeah, that'll help you lose weight pretty good.
Yeah,
so,
any sort of speed is
Yeah.
a hell of a drug.
yeah, snorting Adderall and Ritalin too.
Well, I mean that's
Never done that. Never done
why.
that.
Really?
No.
It burns.
Experienced?
Yeah, it's called high school. You go to high school with a bunch of ADD kids, and all they have is extra Ritalin and extra Adderall. Yeah, they're gonna sell that, and yeah, I'm gonna take it so I can stay up all night and party.
See, I'm one of these people that takes prescription drugs the way they're supposed to. Recreation drugs, not so much. But prescription drugs, I like do what it says on the bottle. So
Yeah, those are suggestions.
Because you never popped a hydrocodone and drank some Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
That's a ride. And speaking of the other night, but no, last night. I'm sorry, because my shoulder has been killing me, and I had a Dilaudid, which I didn't realize is like 4 times that the power of a hydrocodone.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, you know what? I found that it had it from a long time ago, and I think it was in my mom's stash or something. And I was like, cool, I'm going to save this when I need it. Needed it last night because my shoulder was killing me. I took that, and I wasn't touching the floor. I was flying around the room.
Been there.
We
It
didn't
was-
have any cloetry or any like chaos being dressed up, so
I
you must
couldn't-
have been like screwed up.
I couldn't reach a keyboard. Yeah, I couldn't reach anything. I felt like, you know, that chick on Ghostbusters that was floating above the bed.
Mm.
That's what it was. The room wasn't spinning. No, I was just floating
Yeah.
all night long. And it's kind of fun to take it recreationally every once in a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I've never been addicted to anything like that. It's like I didn't wake up, today going, oh my God, I want another Dilaudid. You know what I mean? I don't have
Right.
anymore, but
I think you have to, and a lot of people disagree with me on that. I think you have to have an addictive personality to get addicted to specific drugs.
I totally agree with you
So
on that.
it's like I have a prescription for like 120 hydrocodone a month because of my back, and I will go days without taking them. And I'm supposed to take them every day, but I will go days without taking them because I would prefer to get through my day without taking them. But you give that to a drug addict, and they're like gone in 3 or 4 days.
you want to sell them?
Yeah, so you want to make some extra cash?
Considering this is like being taped, no, Chloe.
Right. No, we will not.
And honestly, that's one thing I personally have never had, that addictive personality. Thank God. I mean, I don't wake up in the morning craving alcohol. You know what I mean? I like to go out and party and party up like a rock star. But I don't wake up the next day going, man, I want some, vodka in my coffee or anything like that. And with hydrocodone, I know the dangers with hydrocodone and drinking. You know what I mean? That's a very, very bad combo. That is a liver destroyer. So you just save it for special occasions.
Yeah.
See, but if you want to get a real rush, chew them.
Really?
Yeah, chew them.
Go on.
It gets it gets absorbed into your system a lot quicker.
So it's
'Cause
like a higher efficacy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like hardcore. So
yeah,
just chew them.
We used to we would chop them up, like not chew them, but chop them up into like smaller sizes. So break it in half and then break the half into half.
Yeah, no, just chew them. Same with like Xanax and Klonopin, because I have them too. If you just let it like,
I want to be your friend.
if it's called PTSD and anxiety disorders, but I have Klonopin and I have Xanax. But if you let them like melt on your tongue as opposed to like swallowing it, holy shit, the high you get from that is just ridiculous.
You know what? No, I have lorazepam, which is kind of along the same lines.
Mhm.
And,
That's Valium though.
oh, okay. Because I'm going to say, like, I've taken that before. Like, you know what? Today I'm going to take this recreationally. And I didn't really get anything off it, but just sleepy.
Yeah, no. See, if you let it like sit on your tongue and just digest, as opposed to, because it hits you quicker. Whereas if you take it and you swallow it, it's got to go through your stomach and be digested that way. So
Well, also, too, if you're having some, an anxiety attack or something like that, you want to get in your system faster. So
Mhm.
that's probably a good reason to do that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because we're not advocating, drug use or anything like that. We're just,
no.
Right. No.
Yeah.
And that's exactly why they make certain anti-anxiety medicine like in wafers. Because I used to get panic attacks in college, and I would get Klonopin, and all mine were wafers. So that way, as soon as I had it, I could just put it on my tongue. It melted, and then I just.
You mean
felt,
like kind of like a Listerine strip you put?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's kind of like that.
Yeah.
But I would not suggest drinking any kind of alcohol when you're taking Klonopin, like ever. You will be off your face in
Yeah, I was
like
about to say,
20 minutes.
I wish I could dispute you on that, but every time I've done
No,
that, I
it's a
can't
good
remember.
thing,
So.
yeah. It's like you wake up in the morning kind of in your puddle of drool and you're like, holy shit, what did I do last night? It's good stuff, but it's not recommended to do on a
What's the
daily
difference
basis.
between lorazepam and Klonopin?
Klonopin is more of a hardcore sedative, whereas and it lasts longer, whereas Xanax is very quick. So for people like me who have panic attacks, I have my Xanax on me constantly, so I can take that within 20 minutes. I'm good to go, and it only lasts about 3 or 4 hours, whereas a Klonopin will last a good 8 hours.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. So can you feel the effects of Klonopin like the whole time?
Yeah.
So, but like when you're having an anxiety attack, does it not just bring you back down to normal, or do you actually feel the effects, the floaty effects?
Oh
of it?
no, I feel the floaty effects.
Really?
Yeah, I have two different strengths though. I have
Oh.
like the 0.5 milligram of Xanax, and then I have the 1 milligram of Xanax when I'm like having a hardcore panic attack, and then I have two different strengths of Klonopin. So
Damn.
yeah,
No, because like whenever I've had panic attacks before, I take the lorazepam, and then it just makes me even kill.
yeah, no, mine brings me like gives me that little. I unfortunately took one at work the other day. I was having like a hardcore panic attack, and I usually only take half when I'm at work, so I can at least function a little bit. Yeah, no, I took a whole one, and I had the whole don't give shit kind of thing happening, which is really not good when you have lawyers walk into your office go, yeah, I need this done right now. Okay. I got through my day, got all my shit done, but it was kind of like I don't really care right now. I'll get it done, but I
It's the
don't
same
care.
thing with the Delighted last night. If the house was on fire, it'd be like, hey, that's cool,
Yeah,
man.
look at the flames. Yeah, so it's I'm a walking pharmacy. That's pretty much, but all mine are legal, and they all have my name on a bottle.
And Lane, like you said, you take them as prescribed,
Yes,
right?
but I have oxycodone as well, which is just
What is that?
oxycodone is like it's kind of one step below morphine, and it's a step above hydrocodone, and
Yeah.
a step above Dilaudid.
Yeah, so it's almost like OxyContin.
Well, it's not oxycontin, it's oxycodone.
Right.
So yeah.
What's got
There's like
codeine
twinkle
in
in his eye over there. He's like, "Holy shit! I know now. I know this."
I really wish I would have been nicer to you this whole time.
Yeah, screw you.
Fine.
Yeah, because it seems because prescription drugs are just as abused as the other drugs.
They are.
It makes you
and
wonder. Makes you wonder, like going, like pot. You smoke pot. You can smoke pot and smoke it all damn day, and it, you know what I mean. And it's not as bad as like taking some of the prescription drugs.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, see,
crazy.
if I was to get stoned now, I would probably like fall off my chair. I haven't smoked in 2.5 years.
But
so
taking like the Klonopin and all that stuff that doesn't kind of put you in training for pot.
no,
You know what I mean?
no.
Because
I
you
have
hear it, if you took that and you smoke pot, it'd be like it's about the same.
I have no want or to get high. Like I used to when I used to be a stoner. I was like, hell yeah, I'll go home and like smoke a blunt and I'll be all good. But I have absolutely no want to even touch a joint now. Like I'm just not. It doesn't. I'm so turned off by pot. It's not funny.
Wow.
The thing is, with
So-
me and pot, I've tried and tried and tried. I have to really try to inhale it because I've never smoked, and so one New Year's Eve I was like, dude, I want to get stoned tonight, and like I'm in a house full of stoners and we're just having a good time. We had nowhere to be, and they spent, of course, they're already stoned. They spent the next 2 hours trying to get me stoned, and I'm sitting there and I'm trying to inhale and I can't. I'm like,
Sweetheart, next 420, I'll bring you some brownies.
so that leads me to what happened. The deal was we're getting close stoned, so we went to the convenience store because it was the only thing that was open because it was actually going into New Year's Day. Got some brownie mix, brought it back to the house, and of course we're partying and everything. We make half of it with rum, the brownies, the other half with a pot. Cook it, almost burn it, get it out, and so we're eating the brownies, and I'm eating the brownies, and of course drinking milk with it because you have to. Then we discover that we're not eating the pot side, we're eating the rum side. Because we forgot which way we put it in. So I'm full. Oh, God. And someone goes, oh, man, we're eating the wrong side.
See, typical stoners.
Yeah.
Typical stoners.
So
I didn't know you could cook with alcohol like that.
Oh, yeah. Well, you cook with liquor and stuff like that. I mean, a lot of it burns out.
I was
but
about to say,
still.
I thought it all evaporated. All
How
the
did
alcohol.
they cook the pot into the brownies, though? See, this is where I'm getting interested. How did they incorporate the pot into the brownies? Did they do it the right way or the wrong way?
I think they kind of did it the wrong way. And also, too, they included a bunch of stems and a bunch of crap. That's the way someone noticed the stem was sticking out. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, my God.
the
It's
stem-
supposed to be in butter. You're supposed
Well-
to put it in butter and then...
Yeah.
Because that way it incorporates into the brownies more and that you don't have chunks of pot that you chew on.
Right. It's really based up to the recipe because because you can also make it with oil, like because I've
It takes
done.
a lot longer though, and you could risk burning the oil and
Ri-
frying your pot.
right,
So
that-
at least
right,
if
that
it's
is
in
true.
butter, it seeps into it, and then the THC goes in the butter, and it folds in nicely. You
Right.
just strain the butter,
Right.
you've got like good shit.
Well, and butter, pot products made with butter are way more potent than with the oil because THC combines really well with fat cells.
Yep.
Wow, we're just a bunch of chemists here.
Yeah. I used to be a stoner, and like every 420 we would make pot brownies. Like
Why
my-
wait?
But because it's like the international day of like celebration. So
I sell. Never mind.
Well, no, because like my husband would have a grinder, so he'd get like all the powder and stuff on the bottom of the grinder,
Yeah,
and we'd
keef.
save it over the year.
Oh.
Well, no, not the keef, like the actual like. If you ever
The
use
queef? What?
no
the keef.
keef.
The hell's
Is
Sutherland?
No, when you get a bud and you grind it up, you put it in like a keef box. So the bud would sit on the top of it, and that's basically the keef box.
yeah.
But then underneath it, you have like the powder that comes out from the actual pot.
Right. It's you know when you like look in High Times and it looks like really crystally and like really shiny and all that.
I thought that was just like special effects.
No.
That's how it grows. And then when you grind it up, some of that stays in with what you grind up, but some of it also falls below. So you catch it, and then when you catch it, it's called keef.
Yeah.
And it's like a light brown, and it's just pure THC.
Yep.
It's what they make hash out of in certain cases. Is you can get like a gram of keef, compress it with pressure, and then you have a gram of hash.
Yep.
How did over time everyone figure this out?
Well, it's
My God.
I mean, see, that's the thing. You're talking because we're talking about a substance that has been around since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
So people have had a shit ton of time to figure this out. It's not like alcohol or something that's only been around for a few hundred years. I mean, biblical. There are passages in the Bible that talk about pot. It's been around forever, so they figured this out over time. I mean, it's the same way they figured out about cocaine. Is they saw that they were chewing on the cocoa leaves, and that was giving them energy to work the fields all day. And then they figured, oh, well, over time they figured out how to put it into a powder.
It just seems they're like taking it and like, okay, what can we do to enhance this? We're going to put some rock salt in it. You know what I mean? And someone's got to try all this stuff out and see how it works out. You know what I mean? Someone's got to be the guinea pig of it all, and some people got to die just for future,
No one's ever
druggies
died.
to have a better time.
Right. And you're seeing that now. Like you see that with the people who are taking these bath salts. These are the people.
Stupid.
Well, I mean,
stupid
yeah,
people.
they're stupid, but those are the modern day guinea pigs. The people who would smoke bath salts. Those are
Or
the
that
modern
K9.
Oh,
crap,
K2?
Whatever. Like, really?
You
That's
smoking dogs?
That was the most like ridiculous shit ever. It's just, I'm sorry, it's synthetic
No,
pot. Like,
no,
why
I
would you
agree.
even bother? Yes, you don't go to jail, but you die instead. Hell yeah.
The closest thing that you can buy to legal pot that will get you high and get you off is going to be salvia.
Yeah,
That's the only thing.
pretty much.
Unless
Close like I have no idea.
Oh,
what
yeah,
the hell
unle-
you're
unless-
Oh, no,
you-
I know. Yeah, I know what salvia is because
Yeah.
we had our former boss do it one time, and he was pretty had a really trippy experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
it's a really intense hallucinogen.
and for some people it works, and some people it does not.
Yeah.
And for those people that it works, and it works too well, because we had an engineer at the station he used to work at, and he was an avid pot smoker, and he believed in the K2. He schooled us on how to do it, gave it to boss man, freaked him out. Then it was about 3 days later he runs in. Of course he's a stoner guy, so he's all usually calm and cool and everything like that. Comes running and goes, "Hey, don't do K2 anymore. Don't do K2 anymore. Do not." We're like, "What's up?" He was talking about just a bad trip he had. He tried to pull the couch up and dance with it and all this other kind of stuff. I was like, "You tried?" He goes, "No, literally, I stood the couch up and tried to dance with it, and then it fell on me." And he goes, "Don't do K2." So we're like,
and I hate that. It's like, dude, no, it's not that you can't handle it. I mean, it's like the same people like, don't do acid. I had a bad trip. Well, it's probably because you weren't in the right mind state. Is just because you have a bad trip doesn't mean everyone's gonna have a bad trip.
well, it works different for everyone. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like, I think I've been acid twice. One time I couldn't stop laughing. And the other time it was just a horrible experience. I mean, I was happy, everything was cool and floaty, and saw little tracers or whatever. And I think it just affects. And also, I think as you get older, it affects you differently too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
The
think
first time I'd done it, I mean, it was just, oh my gosh. First of all, I was driving, which is a very bad deal. And we went through a toll booth, and we sit in the toll booth, what seemed like 30 minutes, just sit and just laughed and called everybody we knew. You know what I mean? This is like 11 o'clock at night. We're sitting in the toll booth, and finally, like, the friend that was with me, he goes, "Shouldn't we go?" And then we just started laughing again.
Yeah.
And then what it is, you start coming down off of that, and that's horrible. and I had no idea because this was my first time ever, and it was like, you know, gritting your teeth and everything else, and then had to call a friend of mine, had to call in the wolf. He goes, stay right there, I'll be right over. And so he had to bring some pot over, and I had to take some pot just to settle me down.
Yeah.
I think my favorite drug of choice was ecstasy. Loved ecstasy. But see, when I was growing up, well, when I was a teenager, when I was like 21 or so, it was like raves and going and like just dancing for 2 days at a rave on ecstasy was like the best thing ever for me. Wouldn't touch it now, but it was like the best high I ever had was on ecstasy.
See, I've done ecstasy and I've done Molly, and I much prefer Molly over ecstasy.
I just loved it because I could just dance my ass off to like this dubstep stuff that's out now. If that shit had been around at a rave, oh my god, I would never have been fat in my life.
but I mean, you do the same. You do that same thing on Molly. I mean, where you
What's
just
Molly? What's that? Is it more of a downer than
no,
an upper?
No, is so when you take ecstasy, the active ingredients are MDMA, and then
hope.
And this is the idea. If you're getting good shit, the active ingredients are MDMA, and then some sort of upper like cocaine or something like that, something that's going to bring you up. And the MDMA is what gives you that, oh my god, I love you, I love everything is so amazing.
Best sex ever on ecstasy too, by the way.
So
and give me a back rub.
Exactly. So and then the speed just keeps you going. And so what Molly is just the pure MDMA. So all you have is that love feeling, but the problem with MDMA is you kind of go on, it's like a roller coaster ride. Yeah, is it'll hit you, and then for about 15-20 minutes you'll love it, and then you're like, okay, I think I'm done. And then you're like, no, I'm back.
Then you drink some orange juice.
Exactly.
Smoke a cigarette.
Woohoo!
That was the best thing ever. You like feel yourself coming down, you smoke a cigarette. Sweet, I'm good to go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, I think I remember the last time I did that. I had a friend of mine, he was on house arrest and he couldn't leave the yard. So we drove my car around the yard. We should put the top down and drive the car around the yard. And how someone didn't drive by and call the cops, I have no idea. So that was the last ecstasy experience.
Yeah, no, drugs are good in moderation. I just don't get how like people can get addicted to them and be like fiending for it. But that's just me. Like I kind of.
Well,
I'm good to go.
I think that goes back to what you said. Is it's more about the addictive personality.
Yeah.
Because like I look at it as like someone who's like, oh, I'm addicted to pot. I'm like, no, you're just an addictive person. Like if you could substitute the pot for chocolate. All right, you could be addicted to chocolate. How many people do you hear about that are addicted to caffeine? And that when they go through and and like,
do not talk to me in the morning without my coffee or my cigarette. I'm telling you, I will rip your nutsack off. Like, dead set serious.
I have never said that about if I haven't had pot.
Yeah, but because you don't go through, as far as I know, you don't go through any kind of withdrawals with pot. Am I right or no?
Well, you do kind of.
The only
life-threatening?
No.
The only withdrawal I've ever experienced from pot was I got the Daves. But
you got the what?
I was trying to make a joke.
Shits.
I got the shits.
Oh, the Daves.
The
Okay,
Daves.
gotcha.
Okay.
See, mine was I couldn't eat. Like I couldn't eat.
I have heard that is a lot of people are like they just get so used to smoking and then eating that they just don't. I had a friend that was like that. He couldn't eat anything unless he had smoked.
Yeah, that was pretty much my thing. Was I just couldn't eat. I couldn't stomach.
And there's a
anything.
huge difference between smoking pot and the brownies.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Huge difference.
Because that night when I did manage to get past the rum and eat some brownies, that was probably the worst experience I think I've ever had. Because I'd be having a conversation and forget that I just said the word conversation seconds later. And I just met a chick that night, and like, she had left, and she goes, I'll call you when I get home. So she calls me, and that was the hardest conversation. Had a pen and a piece of paper, writing stuff down of what was going on in the conversation. I was taking notes. I was like a court reporter taking notes.
I would love to be around you when you're high, because I've been around you when you're drunk, and you are like freaking hilarious when you're drunk. So I would love to see you when you were high, because it would just be like the best experience.
Yeah, but if you don't smoke if you don't smoke pot a lot, I wouldn't recommend going to edibles.
I would.
Really?
Hell yes, it would. Because
It's-
you get that. It's more of an even keel, and it
But
lasts
it's-
so much longer.
But it's also so much more intense.
Yeah.
I mean, the only times I've ever come close to being like, oh my god, I'm freaking out on pot is when I've eaten it. I mean, it's like I can smoke it all day, every day, and like not get to that point. But like if I eat if I eat 2 cookies, I'm at that point where I'm just like, oh my god, I know it's gonna be okay.
You pussy.
Can't you just like couldn't you just like put the pot into like a capsule and just swallow it?
They do.
Yeah, they do. But
yeah, what's the deal with
you
that?
don't get the same kind of effect. Like once you.
Why not? Because it's digested just like it is in brownies, right? Or no?
Well, it's exactly that. It's because when you're smoking pot, is it hits you within under a minute. So it's a lot quicker and it doesn't last as long. It's going through the digestive system. It filters. I think it
And
changes.
plus, when you heat it changes the chemical compound of the THC. So once you actually heat it, that's why you've got to burn it to like smoke it. So once you heat it through like butter and cook it and that kind of stuff, that's why they have them in candy bars and that kind of stuff. It changes the chemical compound of it and attaches itself a lot easier to digest when you it gets digested.
So what's your preference? Is it with heated? I mean, or like in brownies or whatever, or smoking it?
Eating it.
Eating it?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm smoking it.
I would so much rather eat it.
Oh no, smoking it.
That sounded so bad then.
Eat it, smoke it, eat it, smoke it, eat it, smoke it.
It just I would rather enjoy that high for and that mellowness for a couple of hours as opposed to like 20 minutes and then I got to burn another bloody blunt.
Well, but you see,
Like-
I like the social aspect because when I'm smoking, other people see that you're smoking and then they'll come around and they'll be like, hey, what's going on?
see,
and I'm just like, hey, start a conversation. That's how you make friends. Pot brings people
No,
together.
because I don't like sharing my blunts.
Pot brings
Okay.
people together.
No, because it's like if you're like sucking on a blunt and then you hand it to someone else who starts sucking on it, then you're like sucking on the same thing that they've just been sucking on. So I would prefer.
Right. It's the same
I would
concept.
prefer to have my own little piece and just
To suck
like.
on.
Yeah. Well, no, to eat. Oh shit.
You're not a social sucker.
I'm not a social sucker. I do not like to suck things that other people have been sucking 5 seconds prior.
So you only date virgins.
You
huh?
cut that shit down and like use that against me, and I will cut you.
So what about a bong? You know what I mean?
No, see, I don't. I would rather have like my own one hitter and things like that. Because especially with a bong, because once you pull up the chamber, I've seen people drool in that shit. Like I don't want to be like
But
sucking on
I
someone
don't-
else's drool.
I don't think like you've been hanging around with the right type of smokers because I
I
don't
don't
have.
know. You haven't smoked some of the shit that we've smoked. I'm telling you,
I
this
do-
crap will knock you on your ass.
I can't even go down that road because that would be the rest of the podcast if I went down that
Like
road.
seriously, this
Okay.
shit will make you pass out.
Okay.
So I would prefer some of the things I've seen some of my friends do after they've either taken a hit of the bong or the blunt. Yeah, I'm good. Like they choke so much and cough their whole up. So I'm good to not share other
Well,
people's.
yeah, all stoners are going, man, I had this stuff, you know what I mean? And there's, all the different, because that's the cool thing. They don't really fight about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Usually it's more like, man, this stuff was, oh, really? Oh, yeah. There's no, like, big competition about it, that I've ever heard. Because
Oh, there's competition over bud. Like
no, I
they-
mean, like, as
I
far
got
as,
some midnight train, dude, or I got some fucking shit the bed. I don't want to smoke anything that's called shit the bed. I'm sorry, but don't. Like, good freaking on you, but you can keep your shit the bed. I'm good.
Yeah.
Like,
I like what they say in the marijuana logs with Doug Benson and Arj Barker, where they said everyone claims to have the best pot, and I tend to agree with them because
because you share it with me.
exactly you got the best shit. Okay, let me
Let me
taste
try it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you can taste mine. It's
Yeah, no, I won't be tasting anything of yours. Like,
it's good.
no, I'm good. Thank you very
Super
much.
good.
I don't smoke anymore, so you can keep your taste test to yourself.
and what's up with pot smokers never changing their bong water?
Yeah, that's gross.
It's like going, everybody I've ever known, I'm like going, when's the last time you changed that? I mean, like
When I spilt it.
12, yeah. It's like 12,000 miles ago. It's time for an oil change.
Well,
it's time for a bong water change.
I think there are two reasonings behind that. Number one, they just use it so much they never think about it. But also, I think it's not true, but like I think some people think that like if you leave it in there is because like because there's a process called like resonating, like where like you can put weed inside of a pipe and then you smoke
That crap on the side that builds up, whatever.
right, and so you resonate it, and so like if you ever have a second gen joint where it's like you just take a bunch of roaches and roll a joint out of that, that's gonna get you a hell of a lot more high than.
Yeah, because you have like this little butt bit that you put in the ashtray.
Yeah, is you save up all your butts and then you roll all the butts into a new joint. It's
all of the pot that you smoked over the last 6 months in one great big fatty.
Because that THC that's in that's in the smoke, catches onto the pot, so it resonates, makes that pot at the end of the joint more potent. And I think a lot of people think that it's the same concept with the water when it's not.
No.
But what will mess you up is if you put like vodka instead of water.
No,
See, that was my next question.
I disagree. No, put ice in your bong. That's the best thing ever. But I disagree. Stoners don't change their bong water because they have to clean the friggin' thing.
Right.
They have to go and get like special shit to actually clean it, and then they can't use their bong for like 2 hours because they've got to soak that shit in there and get rid of all this. That's why stoners don't clean their bongs. That's why they all either use one hitters and they have 1 or 2 different one hitters around the house. So when one gets all clogged up, you can stick that in the salt and vinegar thing, and then you've always got another one as a backup.
But if they're smart, they'll have enough. Like for instance, like I have 7 bongs, so that way I can that way I can be cleaning one and have 6 more to use.
See, they're lazy. That's basically why they do not change the bong water, because they've got to go and clean that shit, and it actually takes work. So they have 3 or 4 of them, so then they just change them out.
Yeah, because I got 7 bongs and about 1, 2, at least about 5 pipes.
Then I bet on meth users, they probably have the cleanest pipes ever.
Hell yeah. And you've got to like, you can't use like one pipe for like a long period of time because apparently you burn the bowl or some shit from what I've heard.
I've never done that.
Neither have I. So it's like, but stoners, we're resourceful. Well, I used to be resourceful. I don't do it anymore, but when we moved and we stopped smoking, we like gave away all of our pipes and all of our bongs. And we had like ones that we didn't even realize we had, like little South Park Cartman ones. We like found him and gave him away. And it's like the amount of pipes and shit that you come across when you stop smoking and you just kind of give them all away. All of our stoner friends love this.
I know. I like whenever I have a stoner friend that's like, I don't think I'm gonna smoke anymore. I always sit them down like, what's going on, dude? Like, let's talk about this. Is this something I did? Like, let's work this out.
It's like a breakup.
Exactly.
It's like, we need to get it out of the house.
And then because I had a friend in college like that who was like, I just can't smoke anymore. I'm like, so you're not gonna need any of your stuff. And he was like, what do you mean? I was like, well, if you're not gonna smoke, you don't need this pipe or this bong. So
can I have it?
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So like it sucks because you're losing a smoke buddy, but at the same time, there's a high probability that you're gaining some new paraphernalia. So it kind of evens out.
It's like I don't even care. It's the first thing you're thinking about. Oh, okay, I don't get all of his stuff.
It's like, I loved that 3-chamber one hitter. Can I have that, please? I'm like, yeah, go for it. Like, I love the colors that it changes in the pipe when you smoke.
Yeah,
go for it. I don't need it anymore. So there you go.
I got a $400 bubbler.
Yeah.
Because my friend stopped smoking.
We used to have one that like stood this high.
So about waist high.
Jesus, why?
But it was
called all the snakes off the side of it or whatever.
No, it was called the serial killer. So basically, like it was like a 3-chamber bong that stood about that high, and you put ice in the top of it and water all in the bottom. So like it would literally make you like almost vomit when you actually hit off it.
Yeah.
It was one that would sit in the corner and you wouldn't use it very often. Every stoner has like their novelty piece that you only pull it out when you have the best of the best bud.
That or you have company you're trying to show.
Right, and it's like, dude, you've got to try this. I just got the best pod ever, and so it is now time to bring him out. So
no,
it's like
because
everybody has their names for their bongs.
No, we didn't. Well, that's the serial killer. We had the name for that.
I had Charlotte. I had Jenny. I had Sir Chokes a
So-
lot.
So yeah, what did you do with these bongs besides smoke them?
I gave mine away. Once we both stopped smoking,
Some
gave ours
of
away.
them I kind of put up on display. Like, look at this. Like, I have a bong. that was a vodka bottle. It is, and you can still look it up. It's called vodka bong, and what it is, it's a bottle of vodka that is in the shape of a bong. And then after you drink the vodka, there's a little part that you just punch out, and then you put a slide in there, and you're good to go. And like,
Pot just leads to carpentry.
it does. It does.
You know what I mean? It's it's like going how many different ways. It's like you gotta look at someone else's head. Man, your head would make a good bong, man. It's just like what else is it gonna do? And like that answers my question. I always wondered how could there be like issue after issue of High Times. Now I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I know because there's just
They take pride. Like stoners
Oh, yeah.
seriously take pride in their shit. Like we have the best bongs and we smoke the best weed and we do like seriously and we roll the best joints. Like nobody ever rolls
Right.
a joint better than what you do. Like
Yeah.
if you're a stoner,
Exactly.
like ever. So
it's all about preference, right?
Yeah, well,
Pretty
no,
much.
it's all about one upping your stoner buddies.
Right.
Like, dude, give me that blunt right now because you're just fucking it up.
No,
Like,
is the two coolest pipes that I've ever seen and smoked out of was one, my buddy in high school, you know the old super soakers that you had to pump? Is so in the back where the air was, that's where you put the bowl. So you would light it, and instead of sucking on it, you would pump it like you're getting ready to shoot it.
that's not on camera. Why could we not have that on camera?
Really, yeah.
And then you would pull the trigger, and then that would push all the smoke right in.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and then there was yeah, it was great. Is so you would light it and pump it, like you would to get the air up, and then you just pull the trigger and it just boom shoots out. And then someone that I knew in college, the old Nintendo Duck Hunt controller,
No.
they turned that into a pipe.
That's sacrilegious. You should never
Yeah.
do that to a Nintendo 64 item ever.
Well, no, this was the original Nintendo.
That's even worse. Like, you
But-
should
but it
never,
was-
ever do that to
But it
it.
was so cool because the carb was the trigger. So you had to pull the trigger in order to get the carb to
That would be
suck.
cool if they didn't desecrate a Nintendo 64 item.
Let's pretend it was broken.
Yeah, yeah, it wasn't working.
I wonder what today's show is going to be called. When
I have no
you put
idea.
it on the deal. Yeah.
We
I-
have
I-
like pretty much talked about drugs the whole
I
entire
was about to
show.
say, we're about to hit 45 minutes and we're still on.
I think it's funny because people, if they listen to the podcast, they're gonna oh, why can't this be live so I can call it and give them my suggestion.
Yeah, I
Maybe the
know.
time I turn my dishwasher into a bomb.
No, but stoners are very innovative. Is that
Yes.
the right word? If we don't have like a bong or we don't have something to roll, we can turn fruit into a pipe.
An
Like
apple.
an apple. You can
Don't-
turn an
don't-
apple
don't
into a
use
bong.
An orange. Oranges are too juicy.
Yep.
Plums are too juicy. You want an apple or something like an apple.
So has anything else ever been accomplished while smoking pot except for thinking of new ways to smoke pot?
No, but we've never killed anybody.
That's a good
That's
point.
the thing. It's like no, you go through all the drugs that people have died from or that they have killed someone else from doing, and no one has ever that I know of killed someone from smoking pot or
that's
died
true.
from
That's
smoking
one of the
pot.
reasons it should be legal. It's you've
Right.
never heard of someone. Leonard went out and smoked a joint and beat the hell out of his wife. No,
No.
Yeah.
It's
you know what I
like
mean. It's
he
all
went-
you hear about. Kevin who went out and freaking drank a fifth of vodka and beat the hell out of his wife or whatever. You know what I mean. You hear that all the time. So it really
Right.
is just that's a whole other argument about that. I mean, I'm not really a huge advocate of pot, but for it not to be legal is pretty ridiculous.
I'm just saying, like, when you have organizations that are made up of former law enforcement officers that are saying, like, no, pot should be legal, to me, that's a huge, like, why are you not looking at this guy was a cop, DEA agent, something like that, and now they're retired, and now they're saying, no, it should be legal. Like, there's a whole video series called Never Get Busted, and it's done by...
I've seen one of them.
Yeah, and it's done by a former state trooper, and it's really informative because he's like, all right, I'm gonna sit. On the video, he sits down. He's like, these are the tricks that cops will use to get you to admit. And he goes and he tells you, like, these are the correct response. Say something like this, and they can't do anything about it. And he was a former state trooper that, like, his only job on the force was to pull people over that had out-of-state tags that, like way out-of-state. Like, you're in Oklahoma and you got, California plates on.
Here's a way never to get busted. Don't keep your shit in your car.
But sometimes you have to, all right?
No.
How am I supposed to get it home from dude's house to my house?
Well, there's got to be okay. Well, that's another thing that stoners should do is think of creative ways not to get caught.
Lock boxes. I know this for a fact in the state of Texas is if you have a lockbox or if you're oh god, what is the thing?
Glove box.
There you go. If you have a lockbox or a glove box and it has a lock on it, put it in there, lock it. It's considered a safe by the state of Texas, and in order for a cop to open that, they need a warrant.
And they impound your friggin' car, dude.
But they can't legally. They cannot open it until they have a warrant, and they can only legally keep you on the side of the road for 15 minutes without probable cause. So if the cop says, I want to search your car, you have the right to say, no, you cannot search my car.
And then they have the right to arrest you and take you back to the station and impound your car.
But they can't search it unless they have probable cause. And
Well, no, that's the case, but like say okay, let's say you were smoking, you know what I mean, and it's obvious there's a smell in the car.
Right.
Could they search the car? Could they get into that lockbox?
No.
They could get anywhere in the car but the lockbox.
Right. They need a warrant to open that. If it has a key, they need a warrant. That's why a lot of drug dealers, what they'll do is like underneath the driver's seat, they'll make a little hidden compartment. So one, it's hidden, but two, it also has a lock. So if it does get found, they have to have a warrant to open it.
I think Balls Deep has like a secret life.
All I'm saying is, if you're gonna break the law,
He's a smart
know the
stoner.
law.
Yeah.
That's my whole philosophy. If I'm gonna do something that's against the law, I'm gonna know what that law is, so that way, I can do it as safe as possible.
Well, you know what I think that I would do? I think I would do this. I think that I would have that lockbox, have it somewhat hidden, and then have a more special lockbox somewhere else.
A decoy.
Yes, decoy lockbox. That's what I would do. You know what I mean? Going, oh, I'm busted. Oh god, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
and what are the odds of the cop trying to look somewhere else if they found that lockbox?
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean? It's kind of like being the decoy like drunk driver. Leaving the bar. You know what I mean? I've actually done that before, and it was the funniest thing ever. I was like, wasn't drinking that night. I know, big shock. Wasn't drinking that night, and I was pulled out, and I was all over the road. You know what I mean? Pulled me over, and everybody's looking out the window. Go, stop! Everyone else just hauled ass out while I was pulled over.
That's exactly what they do when they smuggle it up from Mexico. Is they'll get a car, like basically just fill it with pot, so it reeks of pot. Take everything out of there. So then when they go through the Border Patrol, the K-9 picks up on their car, they pull them off, and when you're coming in from, like, Mexico, they tear your car apart.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've seen Border Patrol.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So while they're tearing that car apart, busy with the drug dog, other dude slips through. That's how you do it.
Remind me never to accept a ride from Balls Deep anywhere, like ever.
I'll remember that next time you have a flat tire.
It's all. I've got other friends,
All right.
so that's not a problem.
Good.
And besides that, I don't have your number, so it's all
I got
good.
yours.
Huh? What'd you just say? You got mine.
Yeah.
How the hell did you get my number?
Because you call into the show.
That's the home number, douche.
Oh, is that no longer accurate?
No, because you don't have my cell phone number.
All right. Well, you're in a new place, and I'm sure you'll get sick again.
Yeah, I don't have a landline at my new place.
Have you never heard of Google? You can find anything on Google.
Not my number. I'm
Oh,
hiding.
that's a challenge.
Remember, I was
That's a
hiding
challenge.
from my ex, so
Challenge accepted.
you don't know my husband's first name.
I don't need to know
For
your
a
husband's
start,
first name.
You don't know where I live.
I don't need to know that.
Good. Okay.
All you need is your first and last name.
None of my phone bills are in my name.
You just gotta wait. You're not paying for your husband's still paying for all that?
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
I
that's a good-
pay the bill, but it's in his name.
Mm.
So
Okay.
good freaking luck.
All right. That's mafia style right there.
Uh huh.
That's just a challenge. Just a challenge. Just.
Good luck. And no cheating and getting it off Chloe or Dave either.
All right, that's no problem.
Okay.
I'm just saying, Freedom of Information Act is amazing.
It is, especially when my information is not out there. So go for it.
Except for when I Google, I look up your marriage certificate, find out your husband's name, and then it's all over.
Yeah, but then you would have to figure out where I got married.
Mel, you're not gonna win this. I have friends who work in IT who are trained
Oh
to do
my
this.
God.
All right? Okay.
Go for it.
All right.
Go for it.
Yeah,
Stalker.
Well, you just put a challenge in front of someone. You know what I mean? My latest thing is like I want someone. You know how everyone's mean on the internet? Everyone's just mean. You know what I mean?
Right.
Everybody's like just can't get enough mean. I want to start this like army. I know this is crazy. I thought about this last night actually when I was on Dilaudid. is all the a-holes on the internet? I want there to be some sort of like, you know, at least a movie about this. I think would satisfy my anger with it. Is everyone just will go on YouTube, for instance, if you're a fan of Linkin Park, all right, you'll get on fans of Linkin Park are going to go to the YouTube Linkin Park, right? And then you have the a-hole drive-by people that want to be trolls and do all that kind of stuff, and like in real life they're probably normal, but no, they get online, they got to be mean. You know what I mean?
Right.
I want some sort of Justice League to find these people. You know what I mean? That think they're anonymity is like just God. Yeah. Find them, seek them out. You know what I mean? And go, hey, online, just go, hey guys, can you just get off the site? Because the fans are here. If you don't like Linkin Park, go somewhere else. You know what I mean? I'm using Linkin Park as an example. I like Linkin Park, not a huge fan. But anyway, just leave us alone, and we'll leave you alone. But if you don't leave us alone, we're going to come get you. And we'll give you a few chances. We'll give you a few chances. And then whenever you're least expecting it, we're going to make sure we're going to stalk you. And whenever you're having a good time, you're having a great time. That's where we're going to pounce your ass.
That would be great because so many people give me like a hard time because I love Nickelback. And I don't give a rat's ass what anybody else says. I love Nickelback and I'll be the first one to admit it. And I get so much grief all the friggin' time because I like Nickelback. Shut your face. I don't care what anybody says. I love them. I've seen them like 5 times since they've been in Dallas. They are my favorite band ever, apart from like I am a rock chick, but Nickelback is one of I love Nickelback. So that would be awesome.
Yeah, did you, Chloe, because you would love this, did you not hear about the story about the guy out in Arlington that just got busted? So is everyone familiar with what Reddit is?
Yeah, just basically a blog site that just reposts different news stories.
Right,
and stuff
yeah.
like that.
It's just forums, a forum site where you can, say like, oh, I'm having a shitty day because my boss is an asshole. And then everyone's like, oh, yeah, my boss is an asshole too. So there was a guy on there, and they have like subreddits. So like an example of a subreddit would be like, like music. So this Reddit is all about music or TV shows or movies and so on.
Topic oriented,
right?
Yeah.
So there was a guy out in Arlington who was huge on Reddit and was like the biggest. What they're saying was the biggest troll. And a troll is exactly what you were describing when using the Linkin Park scenario. With someone that just gets on there to piss people off.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy, biggest troll on Reddit, started up subreddits called like jailbait and like unknowing, like where it's like pictures of women up skirt shots, started all these things. And he had that same complex that you were just talking about, where he thought he was on the internet using
hiding behind a username.
Yeah, exactly. Well, so the dude, I don't know how, but somehow someone found out this guy's real name, and they gave it over to the Huffington Post. And the Huffington Post published an article saying, biggest Reddit troll finally caught. Just saying caught as in they outed who he was. And then they listed all the subreddits that he had done. Someone at his work read the article, realized this is the same dude that works at our office. Dude lost his job.
That is awesome. And speaking of losing jobs, don't you have to go in like 6 minutes?
Yeah.
So
we got that long left.
Okay. I just want to make sure that you're good to go.
Right. Well, I just wanted something worse to happen to this guy. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, send me that if you think about that, by the way.
Yeah, definitely.
So I just want to, like, I just, one night when I come home drinking and I'm mad because on my YouTube channel, some people put stuff, and not necessarily bad, they're not ragging on me or, they're just like people that are friends of mine posting, you know what I mean? They're just doing this drive-by a-hole thing. And I'm just like, one of these days, it's like not me because I'm too lazy. I'll never do it. But one of these days, you're going to post somewhere and someone's going to come and get you. You know,
yeah.
It's going to happen. And like, you know what? And you can hide behind that username or whatever. I don't care how smart you think you are. There's always someone out there just a little bit smarter, if not more, a lot more smarter than you are.
Yeah, they stopped reporting on them because it was happening so much. But like, people would like jokingly like make like a threat on Facebook, and then or some other website, and then the next day cops or FBI are at their door being like, "Hey, we saw this post. Do you want to talk to us about it?" That stuff happens all the time.
I got my husband's ex-girlfriend. She went and sat her happy little ass in jail for a couple of months because of terroristic threats, because she told me that she was going to slit my throat from ear to ear via text message. So I called the cops, and she got arrested for terroristic threats. So they take that shit seriously. Bitch thought she was big and tough, like hiding behind her little self, and it's like, didn't think I'd do anything.
I want to get just a group of those stories, you know what I mean, and just copy and paste them into those threads. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh god, just why can't you just be cool? You know what I mean? And just, you know what? If you don't like that kind of music, or if you don't like what they're talking about, just go what you like talking about. Why waste your freaking time?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know I kind of understand how they get off on it's I'm being mean or whatever.
Because it pisses people off. Because I know that when like people post nasty stuff on your Facebook wall, then I'll be the first one to like have a go back at them, because it's like you have no right to come over here and attack someone for something that they enjoy doing.
At least on Facebook, they put their name on there. You know what I mean?
Right.
For the most part. I mean, as far as you think it could be someone else, but at least there's a name attached to it instead of like Troll 69 or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right. But I mean, you could just, like you said, you could just as easily put up like I could have mine say like, my name's Joe Smith.
Yeah, everyone could make up like a fake thing. Oh God. Anyway.
Why would you waste your time making a fake Facebook profile?
I'm just saying people do that.
Just to be an a-hole.
To troll the internet. I mean,
we're gonna find you.
Maybe I just have a thing called a life. I don't know, but I just don't see why people would waste their time making a that would never have crossed my mind to make a fake.
because you could get so much information from is like, you create a fake profile account. You find someone, and then you're like, oh, hey, do you remember me from elementary school? Let's catch up. And then, you start talking to them. It's called social hacking, is when you talk to the person to get more and more information about them. And then that information that they give up willingly that you got from talking to them, then you go on the internet, and the information you use that to look up like their credit card or, their social security.
You're a very scary man, balls deep.
I know. And
do you realize that?
And do you realize that you also threw out a challenge that I accepted?
Bring it, bitch.
All right.
So is there some sort of bet here?
No, he gets nothing from me.
All right, we'll leave it at that. Okay, you have 1 week. 1 week, Jeff.
All right.
1 week to find her phone number. And don't do anything mean post. I know you wouldn't, but I'm just saying.
All right.
Yeah, I have a crazy psycho ex that lives in Australia, so don't post my shit anywhere.
That's another.
So here's what happens. Okay, the bet is he's going to send a picture of his crank to you if he finds your phone number.
No cock shots, please. No.
Ha ha! I got your number. Written right across his penis.
If you do that, then I will come in next week and get on my knees and praise you. If you do that,
there you go. Challenge accepted.
I expect a cock shot in a week.
Right on. All right, guys, we're going to leave it at that. The bet at that. Thanks, guys, for listening to the Big Dave and Chloe Show on thebarlive.com. Don't forget you can catch us all on Facebook, and you can go directly to our Facebook, The Big Dave and Chloe Show, at any time. Thanks, guys. We'll see you guys next week.